Trapped was a 10-part Icelandic drama that Matt, Gary, and myself both thought was the. I think it's fair to say
All
it's the
thoughts, not
big.
both. There's three of us.
Yeah, both and Gary thought that it was. I would call it the biggest, the most pleasant drama surprise of the year. It came out
Yeah.
of Iceland.
Mm.
I probably wouldn't have. I mean, I'm into my foreign
The best
dramas
thing to
now.
come out of Iceland since chicken tikka lasagna.
No, or prawn balls or whatever they
King
are.
prawn spoons. King
That's
prawn
the one.
spoons.
Yeah, and Peter Andre. But no, Kerry Katona. I'm gonna go with. But
Stacey Solomon for me.
oh, come on, yeah. Okay, so it was a surprise. I'm into my foreign drama, but if you
You
hadn't
are
have said
now, aren't
watch
you?
it,
You are
I
now.
am. I'm bored if I see anything in English now. Uh, but I do, this may have passed me by. It was only because Matt said, "Do you want to
Mm.
watch it and talk about it?" that I watched it.
Well, I
I was
watched it and
instantly
thought Luke
hooked,
will love this because it's
and
just
I
sort of
did.
the atmosphere. Do you want to talk? Because we've talked about it before. So do you want to talk about the ending and the revelations about the various murders?
Well,
Because
you're always better at doing the summing up than I am,
well,
so I'll
basically
let you.
at the end of the two murders that we knew of were the body that was found in the harbour, like the torso was all that was found. Later on, the mayor who was burnt alive, and the police from Reykjavik basically tried to pin both of the murders on the son of the sort of crazy old man who started the avalanche, and then he committed suicide. The last two episodes, we found out that the murders weren't committed by the same person. The mayor was killed by Andre, the police chief's father, or ex-father-in-law, I suppose, the father
I'm
of his
so glad
ex-wife.
you did this because I would have missed a lot of this. I was paying
Um,
attention.
After finding like a lock in his trouser pocket that was the lock to the shed of the mayor's house that burned, and it was all
Yeah.
to do with a fire that had been started years before, where the man who the father-in-law's youngest daughter had died in the fire, and it was also sort of linked to the other murder in so much as the guy who was murdered started the fire and managed to drag the other lad. Is Hodor? I keep wanting to say that's a character in Game of Thrones, but it's sort of pronounced
It's
like that.
it's kind of
It's got
pronounced
like a
similarly.
J.
Yes.
It's got like a J
Yeah.
in it
It's
somewhere.
it's got a lot of letters in there. It
Yeah,
doesn't
as
need.
a lot of the Andre
Yeah.
is basically the only sort of
Yeah.
name.
And
And
Maggie.
the mother of Maggie, who is Luke's favourite character, the ginger child,
And
killed the other guy who
yeah.
raped her. And was Maggie the product of a rape, or was
Yes.
he? Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
and basically tried to come to see Maggie again to bring him a fire truck, which was a nice link to both the fire that killed the mayor and the fire
And the
at the
fire
fish
that.
factory. And the bigger picture then was that the fire at the fish factory was sort of manufactured between these sort of town elders, if you were, the mayor, the guy who runs the fish
Yeah.
factory,
It was
the guy
very
who owns
clever.
the guy who owns the hotel, and they manufactured this, got the father-in-law to doctor the insurance documents, and it's basically and it was something to do with the financial crisis. They fit all that in. They needed the money to rebuild the town. And it was really clever how they linked all of these things in.
Trapped is a good example because a lot of these foreign dramas that I've come to love, like The Killing, The Bridge, they're so dense with plot. But I mean, there were times in Trap that I forgot connections with people and forgot who was who. But also, what they do is they present a story without going, "This is this person, that is that person." You just have to watch it and work it
Yeah.
out along the way.
Because
And I
there are
don't
so
think we
many
do that
characters.
enough.
Overall, Trap, one of our favourite series of the year. Now, I was
Absolutely,
thinking,
absolutely.
would it come back, or do you think that one-off story is enough? Because obviously they brought back The Killing, they brought back The Bridge. I like to see these
I know.
characters again.
I think it was the atmosphere and the claustrophobicness of it that made it so appealing, and the weather, and that it was just
I like to see
perfectly done.
Harinka, I think her name was, the
Yeah,
dinky little woman cop who was lovely.
yeah,
We
and
should talk
everything.
briefly
Yeah.
about Follow the Money as well. The
Yes.
new,
Can I just link this up actually?
yeah,
Follow the Money, which we'll get to in a second. Matt's not a big fan. We had Maggie in the chapter who was a key character, and there was a boy called Bertram in Follow the Money, who I'm already thinking is a key component.
But
Yeah.
I know why you like Follow the Money,
Yeah, so do I.
Claudia.
Yeah, yeah.
She's basically
Claudia
a
had
combination of what's her name from Borgen, the journalist from Borgen, and the
Yes.
daughter from Hostages.
If those two had a kid,
That is
it
what
would
she
be
looks
me.
like.
Yes.
Katrine is the character in Borgen. Oddly, this was about a body being found near the water by
Yeah.
a cop.
Yeah, yeah.
A sort of weird, eccentric cop in this, Mads, played
Yeah.
by, I believe the actor's name is Thomas Bo Larsen. He's quite a
Yeah.
famous film actor, I
Oh, is
believe.
he? Is
Yeah,
he?
I think he was in The Hunt, and also,
I love
so
that so
yeah.
much.
They find the body, they link it back to, he's, I believe, a Ukrainian worker at a wind farm,
Yep.
and they link that wind farm back to the company which is called Energreen. Running alongside the investigation, you get various employees from Energreen. You meet the CEO, you meet Claudia, who we mentioned, who's a sort of ambitious lawyer who is sort of desperate for a break to get noticed by the bigger bosses. And there's
Yep.
some sort of stuff about insider trading. And then there's sort of an odd secondary plot about this young couple who were looking for a flat, and the
Yes, they're
boy
gonna
used to
steal
be a
cars.
car thief, and they're going to steal the car. Is it one of the employees from Evergreen whose car they're
Yes.
stealing? And that's sort of how it links in, but that seems like a weird subplot that doesn't quite fit in with the
Yeah, but
rest of it. I mean, I don't know, I just felt oddly removed from everything that was going on. I didn't feel like with Trapped, as you said, you got caught up in that claustrophobic nature of it. With this, it was all very stylish, static. Just there wasn't anything that grabbed me, and the sort of twist at the end where the other cop from the fraud squad turns up to Mads's house and goes, we need to stop these people. They're covering up these crimes. This company sort of corrupt and all of that. And it wasn't enough to hook me to watch the next episode. If you think about some of the hooks we've had in, say, The Killing episode by episode, and
yeah,
Trapped,
the
and
bridge
The Bridge,
brilliant
Follow
at
the
doing
Money, and I know it's sort of maybe a slower pace, but I think we're used to a certain quality, a certain standard from the foreign dramas, and I
Yeah.
just don't think Follow the Money. It took me a long time to actually get through, like several sittings to actually get through the
I
first
will
episode.
watch the second one because there were elements of it that I liked a lot,
Yeah.
like his family dynamic and the fact that his wife had an illness. I liked him. I liked her. But so I will see.
Claudia.
So I will see how I get on
Okay.
with it.